What? Another shop improvement video? You better believe it. So, for a long time, I had a lot of these metalware bin drawers, like these, sitting inside the toolbox. Actually, I'll show you what's going on here. So you can see these bin drawers fit, but there's a lot of stuff stacked in here, and it's really challenging to see what's what. So, for instance, all these wrenches used to be in 3 of these bin drawers, so every time it took a lot of sorting to find the right size. So now wrenches are all laid out, and what's in the next drawer? Oh yeah, so all these were in a bin. Hammers were all on top of these chisels. So this drawer here is still a work in progress. The plier drawer. So pretty much all these pliers were all in one bin. Now they're all laid out. They're grouped. So needle nose, all the stuff for copper wiring, hose cutters, vice grips. It's all together. And then this one here, screwdrivers. And the thing I love about this, when I started looking at the screwdrivers, I started realizing, oh, there's only a few Phillips screwdrivers and there's only so many flat screwdrivers, and getting a better sense of, once again, visual control, which I love, that being able to visually see, oh hey, and screwdrivers aren't as relevant as they once were with using the cordless impact for a lot of things, but for doing things that are important, like electrical, where you don't want to strip a screw out, screwdrivers, big deal. So yeah, so that's this toolbox. So one of the things I also did is took this red and yellow drawer, we're over in the other box over here, and so a couple of the improvements. This here was in a gray plastic case that was oversized. Was in a gray plastic case that was oversized, and the lid was always open. And it was really important to keep the box because sometimes if I had to go out and measure something, want it in its carrying case and to be able to just zip out of the shop. So that's when I made this one here. I made up these pockets because sometimes if there's a couple of precise measuring tools or things from this box, I would just put everything all in the plastic carrying case. So the other day I went out to measure some threads on a tractor part for a friend, and I was able to put the thread gauges because he wasn't sure if it was metric or imperial. And with the digital caliper, you can switch between metric and imperial threads. You do that with a regular vernier scale as well, but the dial caliper, don't have to think about it at all. And the other thing, the parallels were also in a plastic blow molded case, and the top was always open on it. And sometimes if the top moved a certain way, it would even keep the drawer from opening or close. Anyhow, so it could jam up in the drawer, and that was a pain, and it took up a lot of valuable real estate because the top drawer is the easiest one to get to. So that's really cool. There's some wider parallels here that I really love for doing stuff like on round bar, because you can't just support really on the edge because the bar might be on an angle in the milling machine vise. So those are important. If I had a bigger piece, because I use birch plywood so it would look decent, because with regular plywood it's just junk's going to get all on the surface and it's not going to be cleanable at all. And also made a little spot right here, machined a little groove for this adjustable parallel. Now this used to be one of those things that was in a piece of corrosion resistant paper in a box that I bought it in, and now because it's that much easier to use, and once again, visual control, you can see it now, see what it is, other people can see it, see what it is, or ask, hey, what is that thing? So with the parallels, so it'll get used more when it's the right tool for the job instead of scratching our heads and coming up with a more convoluted way. Because sometimes even making something or using gauge blocks, and also took a lot of things out of this toolbox that weren't being used. So it's fairly clear now. And oh, the other thing, I was trying to think of what the heck else I spent all my time on. So the other thing, this here, for all the micrometers, I still want to find a 4 to 5 and a 5 to 6 micrometer. So it's got provisions for those sizes as well. But I had this set of standards for calibrating the micrometers. I milled in little slots there, and everything, makes the best use of space. Actually, I got 2 of these 1-inch micrometers, so there's enough space there. I put them both there. Everything's nice, neatly laid out. It looks decent. I used hot glue to hold it all together, which worked out really well, thanks to an old friend, Tim, who we were making some wood patterns once, and I learned how great hot glue is. So one time I saw a really nice Bostitch industrial glue gun, nice, made in Canada, of all places, and bought it years ago. Hadn't really used it on anything, so that was the first time. Now that I saw how easy it goes together and it made it so nice, and I knew if I wanted to change anything later on, I can just bust that apart fairly easy, but it's going to be solid enough that gravity's holding everything together. It's going to be just fine. And oh, the other thing, these, help me out. Oh, so these magnetic V blocks were in a box as well. Couldn't really see what they are, and didn't really have them top of mind. So I just turned the magnets on, and then they're keeping a bunch of other stuff from bumping around in the box until there's all the proper stuff for organizing. I think if someone had a CNC router, that would be a really cool way. But then you got to do a lot of programming, I imagine, too. So it's one of those things, if you're never going to change tools, if you have a set machine with a certain wrench and other odds and ends that all get left together all the time, that could be a cool way. I've seen Kaizen foam. I'm still, can't say I'm really feeling sold on that whole Kaizen foam, but I think it's a great principle. It's just a matter of I change toolbox layouts enough. I guess the one thing with the CNC router, if you left all your different profiles in a file so you knew how to drag and drop them, if you changed toolbox layouts, that would be really cool. Whereas the Kaizen foam, I guess you could machine it, but just doesn't excite me the same way. Having a nice birch wood or something that looks decent, even MDF would be more exciting for me than Kaizen foam. But anyhow, anything's better than how disorganized this toolbox was. Actually, all those micrometers, they had been in one of these shallow drawers ever since I moved here, so it's like 3 or 4 years. They'd pretty much just been in Ziploc bags that were folded over on themselves, give them some protection. Honestly, most of the jobs here can do them with calipers, so the micrometers very rarely get used. So anyhow, it's one of those things that it's wondering what the best use of toolbox space is. So actually a whole lot of things also got pulled out of this toolbox and they got taken up to the mezzanine to use the most valuable real estate for things that happen here most of the time. So really thinking about that and realizing the more we clear up floor space down here, the more there is potential for bigger projects or different machines or changing the layout a little bit, trying some different things. So On that note, thanks for tagging along. All the best in your shop improvements. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below on what you think about for improvements. Who knows? Maybe you have the best suggestion ever for what could be improved in here. Maybe you're seeing something that I am just missing. On that note, all the best. Till next time.